I'm really happy to talk to you today about the colors. And the presentation will be about an update for summer 23. And then we go to winter 23-24, the kickoff. And I'm really happy to talk about this because I think this is a time where we have experienced so much, so many things, so many experiences were completely unknown to us with all this, with the pandemic, with the natural disasters, with all these challenges which are opposed on us, and now this will also find for sure or make an impact on what we will develop and design and sell within the next years. So, but first I want to tell you something about our color forecast in general. Before I get straight to summer, this is the picture for summer turnaround, or the opener for the summer 23, which is determined by the word turnaround. And when we discussed about the keyword, or what makes us think about the new season, or what are all the impressions we had, we gathered in the team with designers from Italy, from Germany, from France, from Lithuania and other countries. So what is the word we want to give to this? What is the head title? So it's what's turnaround, because I think we can no longer deny that it's really time to turn around and to do to take decisive action to face all the challenges which lie ahead. So, but first of all, one thing about our performance colors forecast. It's really something where it's a unique approach to study color and the evolution of color, which means a lot to us. So we know that in sports we cannot change all the colors in every season. So we want to see how can we evolve, we exist in, and how is also color. There is continuation of colors in sports. We all know that there are special colors which continue in sports, whether they are in trend or not. We have to have them. But on the other hand side, we can also give them a new stage, a new scenario. And this is what we try to do with our performance colors by Nora Kühner forecast. So besides, I want to underline that this, what you see on the right-hand side above, is really a practical tool for you, because you can see here all the colors, all our color selection for the season, one by one, and with all the topics about the color fastness, the light fastness, or wash fastnesses. So an estimation delivered by DyeStar, CSI DyeStar, to inform you already when just watching the color to see whether there might be problems, there might be some issues you have to take into consideration. And then, of course, you find also the color codes, not only for CSI DyeStar codes, but also for Achroma, for Coloro, and Pantone. So I think this forecast is really also a pragmatic tool for a first estimation of what colors you might look for. And then one thing which we really want to point out, we as designers behind the color card, behind this color selection, we have now, I think, more than we ever had. During the last 2 years, we really had big discussions about general directions in socio-cultural developments, and we come closer and closer to us, also to us designers. What is our role? What can design do in these challenging times? Can we make an impact? Can we change how our industry is working, and how and can we change consumption patterns, production patterns? So there's a lot of things we have to manage, we have to discuss, and finally we discussed a lot altogether. We all know that our industry needs changes and the transformation, but now it's really we have to stop the talking and take action. So this is the spirit which was already there when we gathered in early April for the meeting for summer 23. And, you know, as mentioned before, in my last sentences, these topics are clear. We have pollution, we have mountains of high-pile plastic mountains, we have throwaway culture, we overuse nature, and so all these are the topics which will really be in our focus or have to be in our focus within the next decade. And also what is very important, also what do we deliver to the next generations, what is left for them, and how can they make a good life. So these concerns in general, these are general topics which will be in our mind for the next, on our agenda within the next years. Back to color. Here you see our color selection for the summer 23. And I think those of you who are just delivering already summer or seeing the production results of summer 22, in summer 22 we really see and the explosive power of color. There's a desire for color, for strong colors, for bright colors, for really energetic colors. And this spirit is still there for summer 23. It's a little bit dimmed. It's not so so clashing and fiery, but it's a very bright and optimistic. Cautious optimism is taking ground, and so it's really visible already in our core colors. As you know, we select for our 6 to 7 color stories. We select each a range of 6 to 8 colors, but within these groups, each group of 6 to 8 colors, there are 3 colors which set the tone. And these are you can see here, and so I think you get your spirit we describe in our color forecast very well. So it's a very bright and sunny feeling in finest days, and then of course a simplification, a calmer story, and then again untangle, a clash of primary colors, and then again smoother, refined atmosphere with also some hints to on-screen aesthetics. So the colors of the screen are really also making a big impact on how we live and how we use colors today. So this is here just the overview, and let's just jump into finest days. It's walking down the memory lane, and in our memory, pictures are not fading out, but pictures are getting stronger, and we embellish them even more and more. And so it's really this color range. This color range you see here, it's very precise. It's very strong, saturated, nearly, the colors are really, the core colors 1, 2, and 3 are nearly or very close to a tipping point, so that it's just maybe too much of a spirit. But this is it. We try to make these things perfect in our memory. We want back these perfect days of summer with sea breeze, the smell, and also the feeling being out in nice and perfect landscapes. And so you see here this very summerly feel of finest days. And when we have just the number 5 with darker red, dark burgundy, and very light yellow, which give contours to this story, which otherwise would be really just super impressive, but with no clear lines. So these 2 colors do their job very well and give a profile to this story, Finest Days. Here's some impressions for the graphics we see here. Of course, everything is in movement, but also frozen in the movement. It's just, but this is what, and things are overlapping, our impressions or memories of the past. They are overlapping, and it's a really wild and somehow weird memory of what we have lived before and what we would love to have back. But this is an illusion, as we all see right now, or a part of the world just lives through it at the moment when the pandemic is back again. Okay, so yeah, as said before, we have to change. We know this, and we have been talking about this for many years. And I just want to cite Greta Thunberg with no more blah blah. It's really time to stop. We have to dare to go further and to flip the narrative of our future. And the best thing you can do is take a vantage point, get up on a vantage point and look around 360 degrees, and then find a way and think about with a spirit which is light-hearted, and it's also optimistic, of course, careful always. But on the other hand side, we really need more courage to develop new things. And so the spirit, playful spirit, but on the other hand side, a very smooth and also cozy, enveloping color mood with the core colors 7, 8, and 9, which work perfectly well together because by number 8, this kind of fungo, it's really grounding the two chalky pastels. And then, of course, on the other hand side, because it's a forward-driving story, it's really important to have these dashes of number 10, this bluish red and very acid yellow. And these are just clashes to underline the spirit, which is not I sit down and and I'm feeling comfortable and that's it. No, we have to go forward to drive things forward. So we see this kind of colors or this color grouping, especially also for well-being sports, for very all which is close to the body, because the colors are really very nice to wear and give you relaxed feeling, you know, or lounge wear and everything which is comfortable is very popular still due to the experience with the pandemic and being at home a lot of time. So you see here some pictures to underline this spirit. It's really about untried beginnings, doing things anew, and where it was really a wonderful discovery in April when we met for the jury for performance days in May, and we saw this fabric from Trenchant Textiles with which just met perfectly our keyword turnaround. So here the inside is out, it's a membrane which is outside, and so this for me too really was the perfect point to say, yes, let's do it, turn it the other way around, turn our thinking around and look from a different angle to what we do. So this is really necessary. This is the spirit we need to cover or to tackle the topics, the issues we have. One thing which is also very important feeling after all these years, with all these months, with being isolated, being locked in, the stop, the scroll. We now have a feeling we want to go out, and this is still there and will also be there in summer 23, the feeling to go out, to leave your everyday hustle and bustle aside and just be out in nature, be out with other people, interact. And we are just fed up with all the well, it's beautiful to have all these connections via internet, via smartphone, via Zoom conferences, whatever. Nevertheless, it's sometimes really overwhelming. I just recall the last week with Black Friday. Now it's Black Friday week, it's Black Friday weekend, and it's post Black Friday and whatever. And all these emails and messages just for announcing any benefits from shopping under Black Friday circumstances. All this is already filling a big spam bin. So we have to we want to sort out, we want to weigh in what is important. And this is also important for us as designers. What do we do for with our products? What is really important? Do we need all these things which we develop, which sometimes are only just more of the same, ever more of the same? Just changing little details is not enough. It's really we have to come to a development, to developments which really make a difference, and not only make a small little detail different. So the colors for the spirit, which is very much behind what we see. As we know, we live in an attention-grabbing time. Everybody wants our attention, and what comes first? Color. So we see a lot of clashing primary colors, as mentioned before. And it's also, if you follow or look to TikTok or also Instagram, you see that people like to play with color, to bring together colors which are very strong, and usually you would say this is overwhelming. But on the other hand side, it works really well. They work really well together, and they are loud, but they are nice. So this is a spirit I think we will have also, which will continue also in the seasons following summer 23. And then nature, the big topic, and the big topic of our days. This is a way we all, or a lot of us, would love to live out in nature, embedded in nature, and with a perfect setting, calm and cozy and comfortable, nothing dangerous around. And also in the pandemic, a lot of people, at least here in Germany, decided to leave the big cities to move to the land side, and so to countryside. And this is just something. But this is the way in which we also destroy the perfect nature. If we all would live in the countryside, there would be no nature anymore. So we really have also to think and to take another stand to what we do with nature or against nature, because up to now we have always used it. It's a beautiful has been a beautiful offer to us to use nature, to exploit nature, but and also to enjoy nature. But now we see that what we have done, how we have worked, how we do consume, it's just not good for the planet. And so we have to change and to rethink, because we are part of nature. We are part of nature. We cannot live without nature. Nature can do without us. In what conditions? It's not the topic. It's about nature can do without us, but we cannot do without nature. And this is something I think we have forgotten a little bit or put aside. So the colors we see here in this story have a wonderful outdoor topic, of course, with these beautiful colors, but I also would love to see it in swimwear, beach fashion, and other topics. It's really because we feel comfortable with these colors. We come from nature, from our natural setting, and I think this is something which these colors of this natural setting, they have also a calming spirit. They make us feel comfortable. It's familiar, the feeling which is overall very embedded, feeling embedded. And so this color range has a little bit of crystalline coolness, I would say. But on the other hand side, there's a little bit of red and pink to give add some warmth. But on the other hand side, if you look just to the background picture, you see that already this is, though I spoke about crystalline and coolness, but on the other hand side, it's really a perfect setting and a very comfortable feeling if you look to these colors when they play together. The interaction is perfectly done, and just in case you need some warmth, add a little bit of red, and then the whole thing is really a wonderful story for doing whatever you want to do for outdoor sports. And in this, and just as an addition of mine, here are some fabrics, and I think especially fabric-wise, there have been done already big things, really groundbreaking further developments. And here just 3 of the fabrics you will find in the forum, which are following this track. And I think this can only be the beginning. I don't want to see any virgin polyester in the next 2 years. I want we have to break this curve, which is still, if you look at the curve, the request for worldwide for virgin polyester, it's still rising like hell. And this we have to stop. And here are first solutions, and there are more solutions on offer also in the forum. And I'm sure we will continue this way. But we all have to support this and to work with these fabrics. So, disarming chaos, an expression my colleague Felicia from Italy came up in late March, early April this year. And I love this expression because this is what we want. We want to get out of all this and what is here again. Here in Germany with these high numbers, the UK, there are some countries in Europe where we now feel again the trouble and problems with COVID-19. So we want to get off. We want to get out of this, and we have to really, as said before in the story Untangle, we want to sort out, we want to weigh in, or a lot of people want this and want a different life already. There really is it's feelable that a lot of people, especially the younger generations, want to live different with other values, more shared values. And I think this is a very, very interesting development and really helpful development, because I think we have lost a little bit our values, and we have to recalibrate what is really important in terms of values for us, for our way of living on the planet. So Disarming Chaos is a story about imperfection and balance. The color mood is really wonderful. It's one of my preferred color stories here. This kind of, I would say, slightly urban, but nevertheless natural neutrals. So a new interpretation of what the term neutral means. Though there is this cozy soft rose and this very strong green, grass green, the overall mood set by the core colors is about feeling of neutral atmosphere, of calming simplification. And so this is I would love to do some outdoor clothing with these colors, especially to see new checks, as I said, or some small-scale repeat patterns, like you can see here, and with contribution from my colleague, again from Felicia. And instead of always check and stripes. So again, here's some more of these nicely done patterns and and color combinations combined with some of the fabrics. Don't worry if you don't find the exact exact fabric sample in the forum or in the loop, but I like to add some color, so I dye myself in Photoshop with pleasure, so that it fits my stories. Yeah, and then disarming chaos. Why do we have chaos? What causes this feeling that we want to disarm the chaos? I think the world has become so complex, and with all these topics of the last 18 months or so, pandemic, natural disasters, wildfires, floodings, and storms, and we see now the results where we have where we end with since the industrialization, the early industrialization starting by end of the 18th century, and then so now more than 200 years later, we see this is it, and this together, the technology and digitalization. I think we see an alienation of man or human beings from nature. We just saw it always, it's great out there, but it's really about we are in this. We are part of nature, as said before. And now we have discovered that this is really the topic. It's not just something out there which we can enjoy, where we go do our morning hikes or morning running tours or something like this. It's just here, and we have really ousted nature from our life, at least for people who live in dense urban spaces. So technology, wonderful tools always, and please don't misunderstand this. I'm not against digitalization, technology, and so on, but to see technology as the only tool which will help us out of the disasters we have today, we see the problems. So this is not it's not true, it's not possible. We also have to change our mindset. And this is the blue duality, which our storied blue duality. We ousted nature, we just put it aside and said, there's a nice spot and there's a nice spot, but it's not around us. Still and ever more people live in dense cities, in big cities, and what they missed most, especially the pandemic showed this, that it's these grids, the strict grids of our cities, and all these rigid grids and all these dense spaces where you can see maybe the sky up above, but in the town only pocket parks, grass strips, and so on. This is not enough to help people to stay well, whether it's their mental health or their physical health. And so you see this blue duality. Blue is also the color of technology, very often steel blue and things like this. And on the other hand side is the color, blue is the color of water and air and the sky. So here there's a reflection of this with this bluish color range. And just a little bit of softness added by the number 29, a kind of skin tone, and then shimmering vintage gold, number 30. But it's really about the reflection of the surroundings we have built ourselves for making our life. And so we saw that this is not a perfect thing. We have to think different. And so it's about also here, it's not only about regenerative agriculture, but it's also about regenerating cityscapes. We have to make cities a livable and a livable place, and which doesn't overwhelm people and and doesn't provide some relaxed places, some spaces where we can interact with others, some green spaces and things like this. And it's not about doing another pocket park. It's really about thinking also cities and the way we build up cities in a different way. So that was our last story about the summer 23 is called 21. We live in the 21st century. We have to find new solutions. We have a lot of technological advances, scientific approaches. We have all the tools. We have all that, but we have to use it, and we have to design from scratch the future. And so here the colors, and you see it's a mixture of the heritage. Colors are like number 38, 30, and 29. So this is the more heritage side, the more human and natural side, and then the clashing colors of the internet with this number 37, 44, and also the acid yellow. These are colors, and I think this is something we also have to keep in mind. A lot of people also live a life in digital worlds, and we will have for sure digital wardrobes, maybe like you had before. If you go to the opera house, you had your special clothing, your special dresses. So if you enter your digital world, your digital life, you will have your wardrobe you take there. So this is already here, and it will be for sure also a big topic for the future. And so we see the need also to integrate these colors, which might cause problems if you want to reproduce them in reality with fabrics. You might have problems with color and or with light and washing fastnesses, but they are also there for digital wardrobes. So, like here, you see a very nice way of doing color combinations for my colleague Gabi Altrock. She combined or confronted the past with the heritage, with the new world. And so let's see what we will be able to develop and therefore what's coming up. Yeah, we are all a little bit, I think, frustrated and not sure what to do. When we met in early October, my colleagues and I, for the next season, for winter 23-24, these are some words I gathered there. So time to focus, time to think. How can we change our destructive behavior? But the most important words, and nearly everybody of the colleagues, all of the colleagues brought these topics here and now. It's about really starting now to work on the topics, and it's in our hands. And I think this is most important. It's in our hands. Nobody can help us, and also not the tools, because if we don't use the tools in a wise way, then we fail. So, concerning color, I love this word chromatic anarchy, also from one of my colleagues from Italy. And I think what you already see for summer 23 continues for winter 23-24, and it might stay with us, I guess, as there is another spirit. So just an interpretation of what my colleague Carla from Italy said, or underlined with her picture. It's just in our hands. Yeah, we have to protect, we have to save, we have to take care for nature, for ourselves, for our living together. We know all the big problems we have. Therefore, the topic of our color card is further. And it doesn't mean, I really don't want to that you think it's about growing and being faster and having ever more. So we have to go further. We have to go beyond our experiences about our further. It means we leave the traditional and conventional ways of doing things back. We have to really stand up, rise up for future. Just a screenshot I took lately, and this is the warming up of the planet. And that no decisive action was really taken, though all these conferences have taken place, but still it moves up like hell. And So I think really it's at least 5 minutes after 12. No, and there are no easy solutions on offer. It will be not comfortable. Building a new future or a different future is not easy. Therefore, as further is the keyword, the Olympic motto, faster, higher, stronger, and when changed on July 20, it's together. And what I want to ask you and us in the sector, faster decisive action, higher aspirations and efforts, stronger performance. And I think these are all topics we are really doing well usually, and now we have to direct them to another challenges. Okay, here a quick overview of our core colors for the season. And you see it's dimmed. It's compared to the summer, we go a little bit more to a calmer study, because now we have also noticed that all things won't return to what we had before. So there's a predominance of reddish tone. Purple especially was really in nearly every contribution of my colleagues. And also a lot of very natural colors. Of course, on the other hand side, we have still the digital colors, as I want to call them, because there I really don't care about the light and wash fastnesses, because it's just there and people ask for these colors, so we have to respect this. Our first story takes up the ending of summer 23, with a story 21, but the next level, lust for change. Really to go into change and to take all our efforts and do something new, thinking anew. And this is also what we, when we compared our color contributions and how we assembled the selections, that we had the feeling we wanted it to be new, to be a little bit quirky sometimes, a little bit weird maybe, and that we want to combine in a new way. And so you see also here a very harmonious leading trio, but then with accent colors, with smaller patches of color, which take it a little bit also again away from feeling only comfortable and cozy, but really also to break this attitude. And I'm really looking forward to work on all these stories, because it's really super interesting how to see how this will evolve over the next 5, 6, 7 weeks. Then the web of life, a story, a reflection of what life is all about, and all these interconnections and interweaving and all these actions and all these things we do, and how everything is connected with everything, and a very vivid color range with a predominance of orange and this ochre, kind of yellowish ochre. And then to make it even more active with colors, with small patches of color, with fiery red, with a real khaki, with a little bit acid yellow again here, and of course with black to ground the whole thing. And then IRL in real life. And this was something which was really also remarkable in our discussions about the situation and the developments we see, that we all had the feeling we now have to look at the people and at nature, at the real things, and not only to digital and digital world. There is the need to do something in real life and for the real world. Otherwise, the story won't have a happy end. So you see here very strong colors. You might say these are classical 90s skiing colors with a leading trio. But on the other hand side, with this slow and very chalky light additions with sidekicks of the core trio, it's more about a reflection of nature and the extreme influence we sometimes have. The purple rivers, the green or the denim rivers or waters. And so it's the interplay of reality and what we have done and what we want to achieve. And then this is us, a topic which is really important. You know, all these discussions about diversity, about inclusion and inclusivity and things like this. And I think, and the empowerment of women, of female influence, more female influence. And I think we really wanted to dedicate something to women, to female power, and therefore this is us. A story reflects a little bit. Therefore, we have here this story about, which is we see more for, again, well-being sports, but also for a well-being feeling, garments which make you feel well. A little bit weird also due to the accent colors, but it's still a very interesting topic. It goes a little bit more to fashion. I know, or we were all aware of this, but as women are also have also a majority in our team, so we said we do it. And then reframing. We have to reframe our thinking, our setting of working, of consuming, of doing whatever we do. We have to to think also in a responsible way about what we cause with our doing. And so this is a story. This was also something what, as mentioned before, a lot of purple and a lot of red in our contributions. So we combine this to a very powerful story for active sports, for running, for doing whatever you want, but where you really want to challenge the world and want to challenge the existing. And then play out loud. It's really no longer the moment to just talk, as said before. Blah, blah, it's over. So this is the moment, here and now. And this is the power of nature and our power. We have to dim it down and to bring out the splendor of nature again, and don't kill it. So here you see the colors, really an ode to the beauty of nature. And then, of course, reconnect. Let's reconnect. Reconnect to nature, to our heritage, to our future. We want a future, and we are the ones who can shape it. So let's do our best, and even more. And you see here the colors, a wonderful winter day. Though it's winter, it's in the Arctic area, it's still a very familiar, a very cozy feeling in all this, reflected by these colors. And I think it's a beautiful story. It's here one of my favorites, with all these feeling and a perfect reflection of what nature means to us, especially us in outdoor sports. And so, yeah, this is what I can present to you at the moment. As usual, you can. I will provide an early color information with all the codes, with the codes in Pantone, Coloro, Achroma, and CSI Diestar, and with light and wash fastnesses. This will be kind of New Year's gift, so I think in the first week, this will be available in the first week of January. Yeah, so time to say thank you, but also time to take your questions, if there are any.
Nora, that was fantastic. You've had two exceptionally heavy information-laden presentations. I am struggling to keep up with them, and I've heard you before, Nora. I'm there scribbling notes. The most popular question is actually not a technical one for you to answer. The presentations will be online within about 10 days, and you can play them at your own leisure, stop them, look at the slides Nora's putting up. Exactly the same with Alexa, so you can go back over the information. But I've already said there was a facility to ask questions, and the two questions which Oh, well, the one observation which I have from your presentation, a personal one, is what you're saying about the new normal has already started. It has started already. We need to get on with it, which really reflects, and I like the enthusiasm towards it. But the two questions which came out, with all your wisdom, now you're part of a wider network, what trend surprised you? So what trend was brought to your attention by one of your colleagues, whether in Italy or America or wherever, that you did not see yourself?
One thing was astonishing to me. This was the importance of purple. That was something
I
where I
like
said,
purple.
yeah,
I'm so
I like
happy.
it too, but it's not every culture and every part of the world has different estimations or appreciations for color. So, and for me, it was also because it was very massive. You see, it was when I sorted out, because we also couldn't meet in person or make in-person meetings, so we did digital meetings, and I was one who printed out all the contributions and put it on my floor, because it's always better to see it really also from a distance and to look down. And I thought, what the hell is going on with all this purple and this massive impact?
The other question which we've asked is actually a personal question for you, which is, there's several people who want to ask you a bit more detailed opinion. What's the best email address to find you at? How can they get in contact with you after the show?
Yeah, the easiest way is just mail me by the address info@Nora Kühner, UEHNER. So my last name, first name and last name, one word, no, but it's enough to start info at, or go to my website, norakühner.com, and you can make it there. And but also at Performance Day's website, you will find my email address when you go to the team of Performance Colors.
Brilliant. Well, Nora, that's it. It's 10:35 in the United Kingdom. It's 11:35 here. We have 10 minutes until the next presentation, which is a panel. Unfortunately, you've got to put up with my voice during it as well. But it's on that subject you touched into, regenerative agriculture. So we will expand that line of thought. But Nora, thank you ever so much for a massive brief that I think everyone will try and keep up to date with.
Thank you, Charles. It was always a pleasure, and I really enjoyed being here and having a chance to talk to you. Thanks a lot.